freelancers, it's your pricing queen Jazz here, and welcome to the Creative Business Kitchen, where ambitious freelancers go to build a business that feeds their passion as well as filling their back pocket. Today we are talking all things project pricing. So project pricing is easily the most common way I charge my jobs day in and day out in my freelance business. In this video, I'm gonna break down the process that I use so that you can charge your projects like the pro you are. Sound tasty? Go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and prepare to feast on all the things to help you find your flavor of freelance success. Come on, let's dig in. So I want to be really clear right from the start, getting good at charging project-based pricing is a developed skill. And like any good skill, you need to take the time to learn the best way to do it and then make it your own. So let's start with what actually project pricing is. So project pricing is when the client is charged a specific amount for the entirety of a project, which basically means that you will have to come up with the price, estimate time, and the resources to ensure that you have enough money allocated to complete the project in the required time for the required rate. So let's look at the calculation here, and I'll chuck it up on screen. So project pricing calculation, it starts with the time to complete the job, multiplied by your personal hourly rate, and then added on expenses for the job and a markup. And this is the total project cost delivered as a whole number. Now you may want to adjust this based on the value that you're bringing, or the size of the company or client, or the value of the outcome. But that's an entirely different video. So this process takes a little more effort up front to understand what is needed to complete the job. There may be research required or more effort to understand the complexities of the job and plan ahead with different stages of the job. For example, I had a project recently where there were 5 stages, all within different sets of deliverables that I needed to plan out and understand so I could quote the job. To be able to scope it out, I needed to write down each deliverable, assign an amount of time or a value, and set estimates for each stage. I then delivered the final price as a whole number, but with an estimate of cost for each stage. For this, I used my own formulation of a project planning worksheet to scope out the different stages, deliverables, milestones, and to help me get some method in my project madness. And you can steal that by heading here. Okay. So what makes project pricing so good for freelancers? Long story short, project pricing helps you, the creative, put a whole number on the service that you're selling and the solution to the problem that the client has. It's the first step in shifting out of that time for dollars mindset that hourly pricing has. Pricing for project-based processes gives you a massive scope to allocate more time to solve the problems that you can, so you can deliver your best work without the client watching the clock. You know that rushed feeling that you get when you work hourly and it feels like you need to go fast to make sure that you're doing all the best work possible? No, pricing based on the overall project actually takes that stress away. Now, depending on the way you like to serve your clients, it can absolutely become part of your offering or as a point of difference. You could position yourself as the creative who handles the project with ease from start to finish, giving your clients peace of mind that they don't need to micromanage you. You can simply just say, provide me with the scope and I'll handle it from there. Now, what about project pricing and what that means for your clients? So fixed fees and set project rates are a perfect scenario for clients who are budget conscious and want peace of mind that the job will be done without the cost blowing out from overtime. So look at it from the client's perspective. They probably have an overall budget for the entire project, including the part that you're providing as your project and the rest of it too. And that part has a dollar amount applied to it. By providing a set number, you are making it a little bit easier for them to do their job so that you can do yours. Finally, delivering the costs as a whole number makes it easy to build options or provide package services to your clients. You may use this as a sales tactics, like a small, medium, or large meal deal, so the client can see what's included at each level and make a choice between which way to work with you rather than whether to work with you or not. Now, are there downsides to project pricing? So like any pricing structure, there are good sides and bad sides. and also delicious sides. But anyway, project pricing requires you to understand the scope of the project to a certain level so that you can quote accordingly. This will probably mean you're doing a little bit of upfront work, not too much, but enough to get an understanding. This may be doing a discovery call with the client, researching costs and getting quotes to understand what these may be, or testing out a potential solution on a pared back scale to understand the scope. If you have done a similar job before, this will help you scope out what the problems or hurdles may happen along the way so that you can prepare for them this time around. But understand that things will almost always not go 100% to plan. It's natural, it's normal, and if it all went to plan perfectly every time, we wouldn't learn how to solve our own problems. Good project pricing comes from experience. You often need to experience the project or parts of it and understand what could happen or could go wrong to know how to prepare for it and price accordingly. If you are just starting out, this may be a little bit more difficult, but know that you will get there by trying and taking action. Okay, hot tip. If you think there needs to be a large investment of time to find the best recommendation, you can propose a paid research and investigation phase where you provide a report on recommendations for them as part of the project. This can be paid as a deposit, and then they can choose whether to take that forward into the project or take your recommendations and go elsewhere. It can be a little bit risky, but sometimes clients see the value in your professional opinions and the confidence knowing that you are the one who can do the work. So what sort of questions should I ask when scoping out a project? So in those first few interactions with the client, whether it be via email, call, or brief, it's important to not only ask plenty of questions, but to also ask the right questions. The following list is a combination of the questions to ask the client, but also to ask yourself. What are the deliverables of the project? How many hours are going to be needed to achieve the desired outcome? Would more hours or more budget lead to a better result? What materials are needed for this project? Is there an opportunity to provide a few different solutions for the client to consider and choose from? Are there elements of the job that I can bring others in to help with? Which will be more profitable, bringing on help or doing it all myself? Is there a delivery or packing or manual labor component? Am I responsible for that within this project? Now, if this seems overwhelming, I totally understand. This process is a learning curve and not every job will fit into this framework, but having an understanding that you don't need to just charge for your time is valuable. You can include different elements or options and see what works for you and for your client or the job at hand. If your aim is to be profitable, to have scope and time to perfectly deliver your client's needs and deliverables, all while not exchanging time for dollars, then project pricing is probably going to be your next dish to devour. Remember to take each job as it comes, price accordingly, and learn from your mistakes. We have all totally made them in the past. Now, if you're wanting to grab this whole process of what questions to ask and a project planning worksheet, head to this URL and feast on that. Order up! Well, that's a wrap on today's video, my fellow culinary creative. I hope I've given you some food for thought when it comes to project pricing and finding your own flavor of success. Now, let's not stop there. Let's head over to thecreativebusinesskitchen.com to feast on even more resources and tools to help you grow a profitable freelance business. From creative calculators to gourmet guides, from finding hungry clients to charging with confidence as a creative. I serve up everything you need to cook up a storm of profit and passion in your creative business. See you in the kitchen. Now go get a snack. You've earned it.